They say the revolution will not be televised. They ain't say nothing about social media though. Now what's free? Free is living life and you ain't gotta pay a fee. Free is growing up to become what you wanna be. Free is when your people ain't a target and federal prisons ain't a part of the stock market. It's when depression ain't a symptom of your skin color and you ain't living with paranoia from Big Brother. Midsummer you ain't worried about the AC or registering for armed services when you 18. See, free is when your people ain't illegal cause they cross some imaginary line to come and see you. Free is when the government ain't gotta feed you. Free is when they start to see you as an equal. They say freedom's when they let us protest in the street, but see if we was free then we wouldn't need to. Yeah, I'm all about a dollar and a dream, but I'd rather turn a pawn into a king. I just wanna be free. They say Martin Luther King had a dream, well it's time to wake up if you wanna be free. If you think you ain't a slave just because you never been chained up, that ain't what I call free. I just wanna be 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 free. They say to listen to your parents, but it's apparent our parents didn't inherit no type of tradition, just fighting the system. The custom we was accustomed to was forbidden. They told us get up off your knees and pray to a white-faced Jesus. Then they taught us English, enslaved us and supposedly gave us freedom. So brainwashed we never considered leaving. The plantation just got a little bigger. When we advanced, they still called us a nigga. Threw our fathers in the prisons, though we love them like a brother and forgive them. Another case of Stockholm Syndrome. Everybody wanna be a baller, but don't nobody wanna be the potential father. Now communities filled with baby daddies and baby mamas. I'll be a martyr, I swear to God, I just wanna be free. They say Martin Luther King had a dream, well it's time to wake up if you wanna be free. If you think you ain't a slave just because you never been chained up, that ain't what I call free. I just wanna be 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 free.
Yeah. I just wanna be free. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just wanna be free.
You hear about slavery for 400 years? For 400 years, that sounds like a choice. Like, you was there for 400 years and it's all of y'all?
Yo, yo, yo. We're here with Let's Vibe TV. The vibes are high as always. What's up, RG? I see y'all already running them likes up. Running them likes up. Running them likes up.
Let's Vibe episode without the milkman getting a yo in. Let me holler at y'all. Yo! Run it up, run it up, run it up. Tell your mama, uncle, cousin, neighbor, Kenny, and them. Go on and get up in the building because it's going to be one tonight. We got a very special guest.
What up, Yogi? I see you in the building. A very special guest tonight. He is the multi-time. What up, J-Life? Get activated. Let them know. Arizona, stand up. Yo, this is a wild episode. We're gonna be unpacking a lot. It is the like 5-time song night champ, the Matty Ice rap battle winner. Dropping 2 albums while one gearing up, doing all of this from a halfway home. The ambitious, the creative, the polarizing, the controversial MC. God damn. Big
all
AC
of that,
shit.
and we hope to find out more. At the end of the day, we have an amazing artist on the program tonight, but we're about to find out exactly who this man is.
So with no further ado, let's bring him to the forefront. Deshawn Cory.
Yo, AZ in the building. Song Night Champ, the amazing one, the one and only Deshawn Cory. What's going on, my guy?
What's happening? What's happening? What's
You
going
Yo,
on?
already know how we get down the vibe. Stay high on Let's Vibe, yo.
so to give context, run them likes up, run them likes up, run them likes up. Last time we saw each other, it was on a way more positive note. We were on the Let's Vibe TV award show
Just a
Oh
few
yeah,
weeks ago.
yeah,
just
that
a
was
few
dope too.
weeks ago, celebrating your victories. Run them likes up, y'all. We see y'all in the building. We got half the likes of the faces. Run them likes up. But there's been a lot that has happened. Our relationship began. I heard your music on a podcast. Okay. And it was played, it was championed. Your story, you were out of prison. What up? We got Herb in the building. We got Heather B in the motherfucking building. Um, J Life is fully activated.
Fully
To
activated.
give context to my viewers, I heard his music through another podcast. He was championed on that platform. He was out of prison after 7 years. And was making quality music, some of the best hip hop I had heard in a long time, on a high
Appreciate it.
level. And when I hear fire shit, I connect with them. Me and Milk and crew on Let's Vibe TV ended up throwing a song night where
Yeah.
we picked a winner of song of the night. We would pick a winner out of
That show
entries.
just in of itself was controversial. People was hating on how we came about coming up with the winners. We just let it be known what was what, and we picked who we rocked with.
Yeah. And so from there you entered.
I
And
did. I did.
yeah, you entered and you won. You came in and your tracks were solid top to bottom, and you were earning money off of raps from a halfway house at the time. And we found out that you were in a halfway house because we wanted to bring you on.
Yeah.
It was like 10 o'clock at
Immediately, we
night.
needed to know who you were.
Yeah.
Immediately.
No,
Bring
Herb
him
is
on.
yeah, Herb is you. It's true. It's true. And Herb is bro. Not a lot of people are as precise or technical. Everything that Herb does, he's methodical about. So, and
Absolutely.
visionary about. And
Every
so,
bar now. Every bar now. You heard that new shit he just dropped?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Like the flow is
But
patented now, man.
I gotta say, the most fire diss track though, right now, to me,
Which
is
one?
that "Who Am I?" That
Oh man. You think that's a diss track?
oh come, we're not gonna get too heavy into that. But
Man.
yes,
I'll break the whole
yes.
shit down for you. If you see, everything that
I
I do is
I
methodical
want
as well as far as the music. Now, I'm not that great of an orator on the spot. I don't do this for a living, but when I get the time to think about some shit and put it down on wax, it's very methodical as well. So on the surface, you may see it as a diss track, but in reality, I'm simply just telling a
it's a
story about what's going
perspective.
on.
No, yes, well, because you're not lying. That like you're painting a very vivid picture. That's how it's hard to
Okay.
dismiss.
Okay.
Bro,
Okay.
look, I'm not low key the wizard, but I'm the wizard. I'm very wizard like in a certain. I
Very
see it
wizard like.
all, dog. I see it very gnome like to make Milk satisfied tonight, but he
Nigga said
loves
a
a good
gnome.
short
You ain't
joke.
gotta satisfy me. Satisfy yourself, no me, no.
What up, Mr. Jewel in the building? We definitely got to get him on a Sunday fun day. But so your music was championed. You came, you won everything. Um, you won a $10,000 Matty Ice. Shout out Matty Ice. That's my motherfucking guy at the end of the day. I'm speaking on it right here, y'all. Y'all
Yeah,
heard it
that's my
here.
dog. That's my
Maddie,
dog, Matty Ice,
Matt,
man.
Yeah,
Stand
yeah.
up nigga.
I do think you should have still been a judge. I do.
Stand up nigga.
No, but he should have stood up for you. I know he stand up. He should have stood up for you for sure.
Listen. I had a conversation with Matty Ice. We talked about it, and I understand exactly where he's coming from. You know what I'm saying? When you have so much, controversy and so much hate coming towards a certain person, you know what I'm saying? You have to like kind of watch the other relationships that you have going on, and you want to keep all the attention on the event at hand. You don't want other controversy going
Cancel
on.
cancel culture is whack. Stand by your people, bro. But let's get into it. So you win the $10,000.
I
Cancel.
did that.
You
I
won
did
the
that.
10. Bro, fresh. Whoa! Come on, man.
What you say? Fresh
Nasty.
out. You ain't increased the views yet.
Nasty.
Fresh out.
Okay.
and I would like to say that, not to be braggadocious or anything like that, but I knew I was going to win that tournament only because
I mean, I
I am
predicted
like
it. I'm
I
I'm documented multiple
listen,
times predicting it. You know,
listen. Kobe Bryant has crazy talent. Kobe Bryant is a talented basketball player, but let's keep it 100. There's a lot of talented niggas who play basketball out there. You know the difference between Kobe Bryant and the rest of these motherfuckers is this nigga Kobe Bryant took that talent, he nurtured it, he cultivated
well,
that
you
talent, he
spoke about
practiced
practicing.
every single fucking day,
When
every night.
I
He
spoke
did
to
everything
you,
he did was basketball.
well,
Everything he did was basketball. You know what I'm saying?
here's
And he
something
put that
about,
talent to use.
and here's
And that's the
yeah,
difference.
Martin says he predicted it as well. Well, and here's something about that a lot of people don't have in perspective, right? And they didn't go into it thinking like, is it was a job for you. Duh, you're gonna put 8 hours in a day for 10 grand. It's a job to you.
It wasn't about the money, but yeah, I put more time in that.
No, but bro, there's a bottom line. You don't want to waste your time.
Right, right.
You did
has
it
value.
dutifully. Even if you didn't quite, you did it like you wanted a $10,000 check at the end of the day. And that's how
Absolutely.
you have like, and a lot of people don't think of that. It's like, yo, if I want to get paid the most for a show out of my music, whatever I am doing, I need to invest in it and treat it as a job and put those hours in to get where the fuck I'm going. And
That part.
people be scared or thinking they work too hard already, or I
That's
don't have
crazy.
another song to write.
The
That's
real
crazy.
question is, what are you willing to do to get it? What are you willing to sacrifice to get one more step out of that shit?
It's
Right.
not a lot if you look at it as a job. What's up?
That's not true. Think about how many motherfuckers clock in every day just to go hide in the background and hope a motherfucker don't come looking for them. Tell the truth when you say that shit. You gotta have some
Real
work
talk.
ethic. You gotta have
Real
some
talk.
actual work ethic. You actually have to be hungry. You actually gotta want something.
You gotta
Yeah.
double up in this motherfucker. Exactly. Double
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
You did it
Triple,
once, get another one.
quadruple.
Well,
Yeah.
so what happened afterwards? Bro, this shit is like a fucking movie.
Like
What
a fucking
happened?
like a Lifetime movie.
It is wild and nuts and the strangest story in hip hop. Hashtag double up. Vanessa, the hashtag double up. RG's single is coming soon. He's double up. Quick plug for he plugged himself and he got people hashtagging it. So fuck it. He earned a quick little plug to his.
Kudos.
He said, "I'm gonna get my fucking 15
Look at
seconds in this
RG. Look at
motherfucker."
RG.
That's what we like to see is niggas
That's
taking
what
initiative.
that's what you get from the opening bout right there. That's the opening bout.
But so what happened? And y'all, this is about there's about to be a huge flip in this story.
Well, go flip it then.
Go flip it
Go flip it
then.
then, nigga.
George
Fine, dog,
Bush
flip it in
the
reverse.
button. George Bush the button. Okay. Okay. All right. So what happened after that? A local promoter slash DJ slash radio show host gets exposed as a sex offender in Arizona. Immediately, all of Arizona goes into panic mode. What up, Gordon Action? Went into panic mode and started looking up everybody's paperwork. Podcasts were hosting literal paperwork parties.
It happened. It happened.
It happened. And exposing everybody. And in this process, you were discovered to be on the list. And instant. Go on.
And that's true. That's absolutely true. But let me correct something. I was not exposed. I came forward willingly. You know what I mean, to bring attention to what a lot of motherfuckers don't know. I mean, because we in our culture, what I was doing at the time wasn't anything sexual in nature. I'm not a fucking pedophile. I'm nothing like that. You know what I mean, in 2012, and just to bring a little context to the situation, in 2012. Legally, what I was doing was I was pimping and pandering. At the most, it was white slavery. That's federal.
Ooh.
That's when you're pimping and pandering federally. Okay. Now, and at the end of 2012, some laws were changed. Some shit was flipped in the language of the law, and that got put under the umbrella of what we now call sex trafficking. I didn't know it at the time. But now I know.
I do think that culture as a whole has minimized what pimping really is.
Well, come on, man.
I think that the effect of pimping has been minimized, and I'm glad. Although
we got the players' ball, we got a pimp named Slickback, we got Ice-T. It's in the culture.
It is, and I'm not using that as an excuse because once you know better, you have to do better. But at the time, in 2009, when I first started on that path, I did think it was cool. It's in the culture, you know what I'm saying? In the movies that we watch, TV, all the shows that I watch, Bossing Up, Snoop, 50 Cent, all these niggas who I was listening to, all the TV shows that I was watching, nigga, that shit looked cool as fuck to me. When I watched Dolomite, that shit looked dope as fuck back then. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see it as anything negative. You know what I'm saying? In the culture. So let's just be clear on that.
And for clarity for the audience, I guess you gave clarity, but yeah, he is, he was pimping is why. Pimping ain't easy. Yeah. No. I mean, the term, it makes it a joke, and it's not a joke. It's not a joke. It's not cool. And it's not, and I do feel, but also I do feel like our government wants to tax it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, let's keep it 100. You go up to the border, you cross Canada, it's legal. You go to California, hoeing is legal now in California. You go to certain parts of Nevada, it's legal now. I mean, so where is this? Like, where do we draw the line? You know what I'm saying? That we as a culture have to decide where we stand on this subject.
Right now, we kind of paint the picture as if, you know, it's what's happening because it's been so ingrained in the culture that it is what it is. Think about Richard Pryor's grandmama running a brothel. You know what I mean? Like, it's not exclusive to men. It's not exclusive to women. Uh,
I know
folks
some female
making
pimps.
folks making money off of sex has been, probably since they invented currency. I mean, they might
It's
have been
called the oldest profession,
they might have
literally.
been
And
yeah,
it
you
is.
might have been bartering for the shit back in the day. I
Yeah.
don't know what they was doing. But it's also a very negative aspect to this, in the sense that every pimp ain't looking out for his hoes.
That's
Every pimp
true.
ain't peaceful. You
That's
know what I'm
true.
saying?
That's true. That's
It's folks
true.
out here taking advantage of folks. It's
That's
folk out
true.
here doing people dirty. It's
That's
women out
true.
here in bad ways.
Yeah.
Like, this
And
shit
I
Yeah.
ain't
feel
It's
sweet.
like
bad.
And I
It
feel
is
like
bad.
there's a lot of times where people think something is okay in the moment and they realize what's happening. And I feel like pimping is a predatorial sport, but every sport is it's all predatorial, whether it's trying to get the best football player, even there's a lot of
Hmm.
decisions that are made that people regret in the
Absolutely.
long term, that they maybe enjoyed at the time, or maybe there's a whole wavelength, and there's also a whole lot of ways that people can go about these things.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, man. I read
Real
my.
quick,
Go
real
ahead. Go
quick.
ahead.
So Arizona media ended up painting a picture
Yeah.
of you and used the word very loosely that you were gorilla pimping, and you have
That's
been, to a certain extent, casted in a dark light by that community. um I feel like your music is powerful. I feel like it I don't believe in cancel culture. I feel like pimping is championed in so many different ways, and it was almost like a witch scare that took place in real time on the internet. I also, it was a very confusing thing to me because all these same people champion gang violence, music about
mm,
it
mm.
heavily. That is their favorite music that they play is violent, misogynistic, and this isn't me capping. This is me telling the truth. There's
I
pimp
feel you.
music that is played on almost every episode.
It's hard
Um,
out here for a pimp.
I think
Yeah.
it's ridiculous too for these same people who say fuck the cops to let labels given by our government decide at the end of the day.
It's
Because
a
I don't want
double
to make it a
standard.
white thing. I don't want to
It's
say,
a double standard when it comes to this and a lot of things. You know what I mean? Because it's all about who did it, who's interpreting it, who has something to gain from it. Which we ain't even got into the real greed aspect behind it. But I
Yeah.
mean, it depends whose hand is in the pot and who stands to benefit from it, and who's running for office, who's
Yeah.
trying to keep their seat as a judge.
Yeah. Yeah. Who's trying to get a promotion as a prosecutor? Listen, to clear the air, the first things and foremost, first thing and foremost, I have never put my hands on a woman ever in life. I'm from the turf. I'm from Arizona. I fuck with a lot of women. If there's anybody who knows me or ever met me or ever knew me, I've never put my hands on a woman. And if you have seen any type of behavior that's been close to that, please come forward right now.
well,
Where
I
do
And a
do
lot
where
of
do
have
you
to
niggas know
think
me.
say,
where do you think that narrative spun out of?
I do have to say, your music, as much as you make beautiful bodies of work, right? You have very intensely aggressive music as well. Not necessarily towards women,
Of course.
but
Yeah, you
one
just
of
as
the
you're for sure you're just as aggressive about the fact that you're gonna win as much as you will let a motherfucker know.
and like
I mean, there's two sides.
one of the
Yeah.
There's
first
two sides.
songs
Yeah.
one of the first songs that we ever fell in love with on our show was a vivid description of a home invasion. You know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
um,
yeah. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. It's like, and like I said, and there's two sides to every story. You know what I'm saying? Me as an artist, somebody who is delivering a message to people, and music is something that is used to motivate people, is used to inspire people, is used to teach. You know what I mean, so when you're telling these stories as an artist, you have a responsibility to paint a picture, and depending on the story that you're trying to tell, overall, ultimately, you have to tell both sides of the story. I mean, because it's not all
and
rainbows and unicorns.
that's what I perceived it as. But at the same time, yeah, no, I definitely and we'll be playing the music tonight too as well. We're unpacking. We're unpacking. We're playing the music tonight. I do like, but I do have to ask these kinds of
Go ahead,
questions.
man.
You
Ask
know,
me
and
anything you want.
because I'm not here to, this is important. And I think a really important discussion to be had about a lot of things, from cancel culture to giving people second chances, um, to how narratives are painted, and to how do we judge the art versus the man, you know.
Well, this is what I want you to do, fam. This is what I want you to do, man. Who I was in 2012, 2013, I want you to leave that person in the past
You
because that's
were
what that is. Listen,
29 at
listen,
the time.
listen.
You
I
were
was 27.
29.
I was
Oh,
I was
oh,
20. I was
okay.
29
The
when I got
court
sentenced.
date was 20. Okay, yep.
When I got sentenced, I was 29. When all this shit happened, I was 27. Okay, you realize that my best friend at the time, who was also a P, he got caught, spent 18 months in the CCA fighting the case, and then 18 months later, these niggas came and arrested me because he started telling, he started singing. You know what I mean? So let's get it right. I was 27 at the time, and that's the life that I was living. But that's the life that I was living. I don't want people to judge me on who I was. I want you to judge me on who I am.
And 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 that's even why I'm here, because I feel like there is growth in you, but also I'm going to ask the fucking tough questions.
Man, we'll
And
ask the tough questions then, nigga.
I
Damn.
mean, I mean,
Get to
I'm
it, nigga.
going to state my humble opinion as well. You know, and I've
Hey,
been
please do.
and
Please do.
I feel like I haven't just been agreeable. We've been discussing these
Yeah,
things,
yeah.
and like,
We talked a couple times.
there's there's a lot of things that you discuss in the music.
I was still on mute. I want to preface this by saying that I don't believe that there is anything. Well, I mean there are things, but it takes a lot for an individual to not have value and worth in this world anymore. And nobody is saying that about Mr. Corey. Okay. At the same time, we looking to really dive into what was his life, what caused
Mm.
him to have to put some shit on pause,
Exactly.
some
So
reflection on that experience,
let's
and
start.
where he thinks about it now, right? But at the
Let's
same time, we gonna ask them questions.
Yeah. So that is a great place to like start digging in, because the people have been asking a lot of questions, right? Some of
Mm.
them funny, some of them serious. There's been repeat of what was your pimp name?
Come on, man. Everybody know me as Safe, man. Everybody knows me as Safe. That's what they call me,
so
Safe,
so
man.
Spelled
that's
with an I and a Y, according to the alias.
CIPH. CIPH. That's it.
Yeah, they hit you with the I and the Y. They make sure they
in the
cover both
paperwork.
ends.
They covered both. They covered both
They
sides.
say just in case you get creative.
Okay. Okay.
But so how long did
You muted yourself. You muted yourself. You hit some.
how long did this take place for? And
How long did what take place for?
pimp how long were you a pimp for? And
Well, I was,
how did you get started in it? What made that a good idea to you at the time?
man, well, I started pimping in 2008, 2009, and it's not something that I sought out to do. It's not something that I said, yo, this would be a good idea. Let's do this. I was literally on Mill Ave. It used to be called The Level. And I ran into a female who I used to talk to in high school and never fucked around with her or anything, but she had a crush on me. I was a senior, she was a freshman. And we ended up hooking up that night. We went to a hotel, we hooked up, and we hooked up again in the morning. After the morning, she rolled over. After we had sex, she rolled over. She went into her purse and said, and handed me 6 bands and said, I want you to be my pimp. Her nigga had just got locked up and she broke the whole game down to me. And I was, at first, I thought she was joking. You know what I mean? But she broke the whole game down to me and opened up my eyes. And at that point, that's when my life changed. And that's a true story.
I see.
Yes, yes.
I
I,
mean,
I see. I see you look dumbfounded. Like, did that
Well,
really
here's the
happen?
thing: however you hustling, right? Whether it's drugs, whether it's some legit, whether it's pimping, like somebody usually puts you on. You know what I mean? You hear
And in
about the
my case,
big
yeah,
homie, and in your case, it happened to be something a little unsuspected.
right. And in my case, it was a female who put me on. Now, she believed in the music. She wanted to be an investor. You know what I'm saying? She just wanted to fuck with a nigga who was, getting money, doing his own thing, a nigga who had talent. She wanted to be around a nigga, a fly nigga, a
don't
nigga who she was
don't
attracted to.
come
That's
on,
it.
man. Come
Is
Yeah,
on.
I'm
his
keeping
head
it a
Like,
swelling
buck.
up?
I'm keeping it a
I'm
buck,
staying
man.
on with the head getting so
I'm
big over there.
I'm
yeah,
keeping
I'm
it a
like, come
buck.
on,
I'm
man.
listen, man. I'm not gonna sugarcoat nothing, man. Since I was yay tall, man, it's been very easy for me, man. It's not as easy for some people, but I, me and my circle of niggas, we've all been players in Max since out of high school. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just the way it
Yeah,
was. You know what I'm
well,
saying? And so
you say that, but it obviously didn't turn out to be so sweet because we found out that pimping ain't easy.
Yeah.
Yo, this nigga milk's a motherfucking fool, man. Nah, but on some real shit, like after that happened, like that I did put my niggas onto it. So like I got a small circle of niggas, about 3, 4 niggas. And ironically, we all became pimps. It's
Uh,
fucking crazy. And I still got a partner who's locked up right now. He just won his appeal. You know what I'm saying? Congratulations to that. He coming home real soon. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's who that became my circle of niggas. You know what I'm saying? And before that, we was hustling and robbing niggas. You know what I mean? And that's what I was doing then as well. You know what I'm saying? I was robbing niggas, I was selling weed, I was selling
So
pills,
where do you
I
draw
was
the line
scamming niggas.
between that and gorilla pimping? What makes you have more respect? Like, what makes keeping a trick or whoop that trick or whatever? Like, what made that out of your moral compass, but robbing wasn't?
Because it's women. I mean, my dad spent a lot of time in prison for multiple different shit. So my mom raised me. You know what I'm saying? I don't even talk back to my moms or nothing like that. When I see my moms, is yes, ma'am. When I see my one of my aunts, one of my older cousins, is yes, ma'am. I love you. It's all respect. I mean, and I just could never put my hands on a woman. You know what I'm saying? Even if she hits you, you can't hit her back. Like, that's just not the way it is. You know what I'm saying? Now, I've had a female attack me. I've had a female. I've actually had one of my hoes attack me, which was crazy because as she's attacking me, I got my sister on the phone like, "Yo, man, come get this female out my house, man, please." You know what I mean? But I just I could never see myself even attempting to,
Okay.
you know, put my hands on a woman. That's just fucking disgusting. And any man who does that, I mean, is fucking disgusting as well.
I think this is a good point to play break the chains and a good segue because you brought up your mom and it kind of goes hand in hand with a couple things I wanted to chop it up about in a second. So here's some Deshawn Cory break chains. Roll up, do what you need to. Let's go. Let's go.
I used to watch BT in the basement. Started rapping with admiration to getting famous. Listen to their lyrics, then I tried to imitate it. But lost sight, cause what I thought was these niggas' real life was just entertainment. I started to play the game, trying to taste the fame. Once your vision clouded, it's hard for you to escape the rain. But once you end up in prison, your vision ain't the same. I used to be foolish, now I'm gonna be the conduit to break the chains. We gotta change the way we talk. We gotta change the way we think. We gotta change the way we live. We gotta break the chains. We on a path to destruction. We gotta change our whole direction. My baby mother used to be a stripper. Correction, my baby mother still a stripper. Dancing on the pole, gotta wonder will they tip her. Married to the life, every night gotta numb it with the liquor. My daughter watching, though your mother's a wildcat, I'm trying to show her she ain't gotta run with it. She got other options, trying to recalibrate her brain. You and your mama ain't the same, I'm lacing her with the game that'll break the chains. If you ain't noticed, we at motherfucking war right now. We at war with our culture. We at war with the media. We at war with society. We at war with our own people. And most importantly, we at war with ourselves. All Big Mama did was work for a living. And when she died, I realized that going to work wasn't living. It's deeper. See, the thing was we was birthed in the system where it's hard to be black, but it's even worse for the women. This verse that I'm spitting probably going in, out the other. Just know half of his brothers gon' end up in a hearse or in prison. Niggas still go to church and they sinning on the path of destruction. You can't divert the collision. I search for the wisdom in every lesson. I learned that my very presence was the gift and the curse that was given. Our mental is in the worst of conditions. The way we hating on one another, and it's even worse when you win it. You gotta be the blueprint when niggas reach a certain position. Instead of quenching your thirst for attention, we ain't ready for action. I can tell by the way that you niggas reacted to Kyrie Irving suspension. We gotta break the mental shackles that we choose to be in. Maya Angelou said, when you know better, you do better. We gotta break the chains. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. We gotta break the chains.
Yo, that is Deshawn Cory, break the chains. Gosh.
What you think about that? What you think about that track?
We ready to start talking about the breaking the chains? Because I'm really interested actually in
well,
like when go ahead.
Oh shit. I didn't mean to use the laugh track.
Fuck is he out here doing? Fuck is he out here doing?
Use the applause. Let's do that song around with applause. Yeah. We had to get that song around with another fucking applause. I ain't even trying to be on that tonight. I'm trying to be.
Now I got some edit work to do later.
Something that there's multiple things that stand out that you said. We do live in a society where 9 to 5s are a fucking dead end, and you have to find multiple sources of income. I saw a status from somebody whose mother passed, and she said
$3,000.
$3,000 was
$3,000
was all that she had in her social security.
You pay into Social Security your whole life and only drew back $3,000 before it was done.
And even what you said, to see those two things and hear those two things, what do we do? And But it's kind of concerning and not at the same time, right? Because your goals are still the same.
Of course,
You
of course,
still want money,
of course. Financial
and
freedom.
and, and you still understand the same problems, right? They still exist that you had before. How have you
Yeah.
changed your approach?
That's
And
kind of
Well,
what
how
I was
can
looking
well,
to
people
hear. Yeah, for
stuck?
well,
sure.
well. Listen, man. Listen.
Come on,
I'll
I'm
say it
always
like
gonna
this.
take it there, man.
I'll say it like this, and let me say this. Harriet Tubman said, "I freed over 10,000 slaves, and I would have freed over 10,000 more if they would have knew they were slaves."
She said
Now,
that.
now, listen. When they freed the slaves, when they freed the slaves, the people in the South was like, "Damn, what are we gonna do? All our free labor is gone." And the other side said, "What do you mean? You clothe these people, don't you?" Well, yeah. You feed these people, don't you? Yeah. You pay for their housing, don't you? He said, yeah. Well, they're going to need jobs. You own the stores, you own the food markets, you own the properties. Why don't you just give them jobs and then pay them enough money to where they can feed themselves, they can clothe themselves, and they can live? And it's that same mentality that we have today. We are going to work in a fucking plantation, however you want to describe that plantation, to feed ourselves, to clothe ourselves, and to have a place to live. And then we go back out to the plantation every week and do the same thing over and over and over and over again. So eternally, we feel like slaves. We feel like slaves to our bills. We feel like slaves to our car payment. We feel like slaves to our mortgage, to our rent. It just depends on
Does it
the
feel?
job that that's
Does it
how it
feel?
feels, man.
Does it feel like the past is included in that too?
What do you mean? Explain yourself.
Yeah. Good good
In
night
the in
to
this
Gordon
in the,
Action. To Gordon Action and Martin. Yes, the second album is out. It is 9 songs. It is the one. You know they've been trying to mute any
in the sense
publicity for
that
this man.
in the sense that you present as having no shame over your past. You stand up, you account for your choices and the life that you have lived to this point, right? But when this information did come to light, other people didn't uh, give you the opportunity to even speak on the situation. And so, in that sense, are you a slave to your history? Is your past something that is just going to be that difficult to shake, or do we have to just kind of put it in the rearview mirror and push forward?
Only if
What is your outlook on that?
only if you let it. Only if I let it hold me back. And then I have to ask myself, what do I want in life? What do I want? You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be better than anybody else. I don't want to be better than the next man. I don't think I'm better than anybody else. The only thing I want to do is be a better man today than I was yesterday. That's it.
So how
You know
is
what I'm saying?
how is Deshawn Cory redirecting that energy? Because the hustle is the same; it's just got to be redirected. And so we know it's music, but what's that really look like for you right now?
Financial future, man. My financial freedom, excuse me. You know what I'm saying? I got a daughter, man. My daughter's 14 years old, man. And she's very, 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 very talented. I mean, and I'm going to do everything that I can in this life to make sure that she's able to maximize her full potential on this planet. I mean, and that's
Yeah.
my goal in this life. And that's the most important thing to me right now. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna say the only,
Well,
but that's
and
the most important thing to me right now.
on that song, you get brutally honest about um all of that. Um and it's funny because a lot of people say words. I mean the whole story. The new album, Deshawn Cory the One, is out now. And it's his second album since he's gotten out. Um and it's heavy.
He telling
And
this
it's
story Cory tonight on Let's Vibe TV, but one thing is for certain, you can't knock the hustle nor the grind. Ain't nobody working harder than this man right now.
It just is how it is. You said your baby mama is a stripper. Was it? Well, is a stripper.
So it
To
was
this day.
and still
To this day.
is. Uh-huh.
To this day. To this day. To this day.
I see. And you talk about how that affects your daughter, or trying to avoid her falling in the same pitfall. But at the end, you actually proclaim that's not. They are not alike. They will not fall for the same things.
Absolutely. And see, the reason why I say that is because when I first met my baby's mom was a stripper, and they worked at the same club.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And then 10 years later, my baby's mom's sister became a stripper. Now, is that by accident? I think not. I mean, so as my daughter's growing up, she's seeing this. She sees it every day. I mean, so it's going to be a lot.
Normal can be at that point.
Right. They're normalizing this type of behavior, which, of course, I don't want my daughter to be no fucking stripper. I'm saying my daughter's smart and talented. So my job is to inspire her to maximize her true talents.
And
mind you, we don't want to speak ill of any woman in the profession, as we believe that women have the right to choose.
I live in
what
Atlanta.
They do with their bodies, baby.
I live in Atlanta.
I know I have contributed to some college funds and probably to some formula or something. You know, depending on where I was at. You know,
definitely. So, but actually, we have a record from your daughter, because she is a musician,
Super dope.
and she's dope. And it's proof of what you were saying. I think we should spin this track.
And just to add some context to this song, this is the first song that she ever recorded. We recorded this at iRock Studio. It's mixed by my man. You know what I'm saying? I love this nigga. You know what I'm saying? Y'all need to go fuck with this nigga. My nigga D over there at iRock Studio. Also, the wizard from the Unconventional Kings is playing the guitar on this shit as well.
Shit! Okay,
yeah, I had him come in.
You know,
so
we
I
love
brought
the
in
Kangs on Let's Vibe.
We love the Kangs.
I brought in everything. I brought in everything to make this song so dope that when she left the studio, she was feeling herself. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what that's gonna do? That's gonna inspire her to write another song.
Did you send it to me on purpose or on accident? I swear you did some Jedi mind trick when you did that. But I'm about to spin this record. You knew he's kind of a white boy. He'll like this shit now, Judge.
I don't know where I'm going, but I hope that I'll be there soon. I'm freezing in my cold room and I'm taking hot showers. It feels like I'm going insane and getting nowhere. People around me say they care, but really do they? I'm falling down a rabbit hole in my brain. I say that I'm okay, but really my thoughts are creeping. It's so hard to live my life knowing there's a darker side of me, begging to let go. Don't know that I wish there was a way to communicate with the voices in my head. But really, is there when you don't know why you're sad? It feels like I'm going insane and getting nowhere. People around me say they care, but really do they?
Yeah, that's how old is she?
14, fam. 14.
Damn.
14. And she
She
wrote
gonna
all
be
that
better
herself.
than her daddy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That song is better than any song I've ever recorded. As far as like on a commercial level, like that shit is crazy, man. Crazy,
Yeah.
Wow.
man. Like she's
Yeah.
she's fucking amazing, man. She's fucking amazing, man. I mean, how could you not put everything that you have into something like that? You know
Yeah,
what I
that
Yeah.
mean?
track
Yeah.
and it's not out yet.
No, it's not out. I'm plotting. I'm waiting. I got
We
something
got the
brewing right now.
exclusive. We got the exclusive.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
I mean,
Absolutely.
I even think uh that track is a like it's like okay, you can say something and then you can show somebody, and that you know what I'm saying. Like you
You
can
say,
say what how
I'll show you better than I can tell you.
Right.
yeah, and so
Exactly.
like to understand, like it's like oh, he really is trying to set her up for success.
Well,
That's
Absolutely.
and that's really what I'm looking for, and I think that's what the people need to hear, and to understand what that hustle truly looks like. Not only are you out here grinding trying to still realize your dreams, and leave impact and an imprint in this world, but a part of that is the legacy through your daughter and really supporting her and helping her live into her dreams.
Absolutely. 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 At the end of the day, man, we I know it sounds cliche to say this, but we are products of our environment. We know what we know. When I was growing up,
I agree
okay,
because I'm right there with you, but I don't
but we
accept
can
it as an
rise above
excuse.
it. Yeah.
right,
Yeah, I don't accept
absolutely.
it as an excuse.
Absolutely. I mean, but me growing up, when I was growing up, the most successful person in my family was my Uncle Ron. And he worked for APS for 10, 15 years. He drove a 10-year-old BMW. And I mean, he thought every day he would come home from work, he'd be tired as fuck. I didn't want to live that life. I
Right.
mean, so who did I look up to? You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be famous. I wanted to have money. I wanted to, you know what I'm saying, have financial freedom. I didn't want to come home every day from work and be stressed out and be eating top ramen and, and toast with butter
The
on it
shit
for
that you had
dinner and all
already
that
seen
bullshit.
and been
Right.
living. Right.
I didn't want to do that. I mean, so who did I have to look up to who was getting money in my neighborhood? My Uncle Junior. This nigga balled the fuck out. My Uncle Junior Sneed, one of the biggest hustlers ever from Arizona. I'm really from the turf. This nigga's one of the niggas who was selling crack in the 80s, big time. This nigga's doing life in prison right now. You know what I'm saying? I had my friends, my homies who was,
And we don't
robbing niggas,
glorify
selling
any
weed,
of
doing all
that,
this,
but
right, doing all of this shit. You know what I'm saying? So at the time, that's how I knew how to get money. I knew I wanted to get money. I knew I wanted financial freedom. We all want financial freedom. But how are we going to go about doing that? Now, the person that you're looking at now, I can see past that. You know why? Because I know firsthand from my own experience that that shit is short lived. And there's better ways to get it and more lucrative ways to get it. I was in the
Talk
feds,
talk
man.
about talk about how
Go ahead.
that mentality shifted though. Clearly it's easy to say, the moment you had to sit down, you ain't had nothing but time to think. But really
Of
talk
course.
about the process and the shift in mentality.
Well, I
yeah,
mean,
what makes that different for you?
I'm in the feds, man. I'm in the feds, so I'm around very smart criminals. You know what I mean? And a lot of people who are in the feds, you can learn from people's mistakes because a lot of them niggas have been there more than once. And you know what a lot of niggas do in the feds? They try to learn how to become better criminals. And guess what happens? They end up in the same position. They end up in the same spot. So when you have time to sit down and observe this and to watch what niggas is doing and how this shit is affecting other people's lives, you can say you have to make a decision. Yo, I want better for myself. So at that time, I was reading books. I wrote a couple of books myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm researching, I'm learning from other people's story. And I realized that, yo, there's another way to get it. I could do this. I can start my
Has
own business. I can build my credit up. I can get an LLC and do this. You know what I mean?
I mean, but
And
that
once you
has
know
to
that,
be difficult with your history. They've tried to make rapping difficult for you. And so Like,
How was that, fam? I got a
what?
studio. I got a studio right in my crib. I can
No,
go to
I
the
said
studio
they
anytime I want.
tried. I said they tried, my boy.
But
I didn't say they did it.
niggas can
I
never
didn't
do
say
that,
they
bro.
did it.
Niggas can
I
never do
never
that.
said they did it, but they have tried. Yeah, bro, obviously. Like,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying? I
I
don't
hear what you're
believe,
saying.
they have definitely made a conscious effort. Even people in the comments who
You think so?
watch certain AZ podcasts every day and didn't even know his second album was out.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? I've even today going into this, people have been like, man, I instantly unsubscribed, blah blah blah. Like, you know what I'm saying? And you speak on these things in your album.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
can say it
absolutely.
doesn't affect you, but it
Absolutely.
definitely the album is very bittersweet and from a tough perspective.
Absolutely.
And from
Absolutely.
a still a champion's perspective, but there's definitely a little bit of hurt over
Yeah.
it. So obviously nobody can stop you from rapping, but
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, music should be expression, should be an expression of yourself and what you're going through, the many emotions. I mean, but to backtrack to back what you was talking about and how niggas was trying to slander and all this shit, man. Listen, man. I'm saying you got a lot of people out there who are waving the civilian card, who are trying to, in one sense, saying that they're a civilian, but in another sense, saying that they, are official representations of what's going on in the streets. And niggas is bringing up so-called paperwork. Man, when you're doing that type of shit, man, you have to watch what you say, man, because it's slander, man, and there could be repercussions from that. I mean, physically and legally. I mean, and I don't do no threats. I don't do a lot of talking. You don't hear me going back and forth with niggas online because that's not the type of nigga I am. I would never do that. Me firsthand, I know that the feds is watching every move that niggas is making online and they documenting shit. So nigga, be smart about what you say and what you do on this motherfucking internet, niggas. You know what I'm saying? That's for everybody. I mean, but when y'all niggas is reading the prosecutor's statements and the theory that they're painting about a nigga and then presenting it as it's a motherfucking fact, nigga, that's fucking disgusting. That is fucking disgusting. And you niggas should
Yeah.
be a fucking ashamed of themselves. I
well,
mean,
Well,
so
like,
the picture they were painting, was charges that accumulated to what were you facing almost 25 years.
yeah, yeah, it was 10 to life. It was 10 to life. It was 10 to
uh,
life.
so what has been the hardest part of coming home and transitioning?
And just dealing with, probation officers, like, you know what I'm saying? Like you free, but you not free. You know what I'm saying? I did 9 years, my nigga. I did 9 fucking years. I served my fucking time. I took it on the fucking chin. I took it on the chin. The last thing that I want to do
And
is come home and feel like I'm still doing time.
what did you do while you were in there to set yourself up for success? Because it seems like you had came home with a plan, so and strategy, and was focused,
Well,
an
yeah.
uncanny focus.
Well, I mean, I can talk about it since nothing I did in there was actually illegal. It was just, against the rules. But, I started some businesses. You know what I mean? Gambling is something that's very popular in prison. So I cornered that market. You know what I'm saying? I had the poker table, which was the second biggest money making market on the yard. Obviously, everybody runs a store. I had several stores in several different units. And then once I got my bag all the way up, I started the gambling ticket. And I know a lot of motherfuckers out there probably got FanDuel's accounts. They own MGM bets. They own DraftKings. They own all that shit. I was DraftKings on the yard. I was that nigga. You know what I'm saying? And the house never loses.
I was talking about getting focused on. He said that's how I ran it up when I was in there. Nigga, you wild as
You
hell.
what it only speaks to the hustle though. And that's what it goes back to the beginning from him. Like, we could be hyper fixed on the pimping and what it was and what it wasn't and what people's opinion is and ain't. But at the end of the day, the hustle was instilled in you early. It translated in life and in more life and it's still going right now.
Absolutely, absolutely, and it don't stop, man. And I'll tell you right now, man. If you can succeed in prison, man, you can succeed anywhere, man. You know what I'm
This
saying?
man
Because
said
in
he
prison,
was DraftKings.
I
That's
was, I was, and the
He
house never
had the
loses.
he had the
The house
candy
never
stove,
loses.
the DraftKings.
uh uh
Man,
a
I
commenter
had.
said, so you didn't treat your time as punishment. You continued nonsense then. What is
If that's how you want to look at it, you know what I'm saying. But at the same time, I mean, listen, man, listen. I understand that niggas are in prison and niggas are supposed to be rehabilitating themselves the correct way and following all the rules. But at the end of the day, man, if there's a gray area that you can weed in between in life, you know what I'm saying, to get where you want to go, and you can do it legally, man, get your money, man. You know what I'm saying? Get your money and turn that into something positive for your family, man. Because at the end of the day, ain't nobody gonna take care of your family but
well
you,
and
man.
yeah, well, and but even the like there had to have been anxiety in like trying to catch up and being able to take care of your daughter when you came home. Like how did you
Absolutely.
navigate how'd you navigate through that? Like I guess that would also make a priority staying home as as well.
It's gotta be.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
ain't gonna be able to do that
absolutely.
effectively not home.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. See, like, you know what I'm saying? Like the halfway house is like it like prepared me to keep the same mentality when I got out as to when I was in there. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, you know what I'm saying? I just came back from the office. I'm at home. You know what I'm saying? I'm not at home because I'm doing this interview tonight. I come home every night. I don't go out. I'm not in the streets. I'm not out there doing reckless shit. I'm putting away my bread. I'm stacking my chips. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I'm putting away my money, you know what I'm saying, for bigger investments. You know what I mean? And I got some shit coming. I really can't talk about it, but you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like you just have to be thinking about the bigger picture and not the small shit.
Well, and what we do have to address, the girl was under a, like, can we talk about the
Yeah, go ahead.
actual thing?
Yeah, yeah,
First of
yeah.
all,
Go
we're
ahead
not
and talk.
gonna ask if we could talk about it when we said we was gonna
Yeah,
ask the questions.
man. Talk about whatever you want to talk about, my nigga.
Yeah.
Because
And
there
so
is some discrepancy in terms of what you say is what. They say it's one thing, you say it's another. The
Yeah,
reality of the
absolutely.
situation is at least one of the females in question was underage.
Right, right, and not knowingly, and I wasn't convicted of that. You know what I mean? So, and I'm not here to make excuses or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? And I feel for that. Anybody who thought that was true, or anybody thinks that, that's some fucked up shit, that's foul. I agree as well. I would never knowingly fuck with a
and
female who was not of age.
how old was she?
She was 17. She was
Okay.
17. You know what
So
I
so
mean? And
how
just
did how did she end up in this story?
Yeah.
Well, it's crazy. Well, it's crazy because this story starts a long time. It starts in 2009 when I caught my first armed robbery case. But we'll fast forward a little bit to when my baby's mom went out to Washington and took my daughter with her. I mean, so at the time, I hadn't seen my daughter in about 6 to 8 months. My baby's mom is a stripper slash, respectfully, she was a hoe. And she had chose up with a pimp who was out there in Washington doing her thing. So, in a desperation move to go find my daughter, I went on People Search real quick, the People Finder website. I found 3 addresses for my baby's mom, and I said, "Fuck it, I'm going out to Washington to find her." Right. So once I get to Washington, it's like a month or two goes by, and I cannot find this bro. But I did find a female in the club who knew her. I got her phone number, and I called her. And I said, "Yo, I want to see my daughter. I'm here in Washington." And guess who gets on the phone? This nigga. This nigga talking about, "Yeah, man, you ain't got nothing going on over here, nigga." So now me and this nigga is going back and forth, man. I don't give a fuck about this female, man. I'm trying to see my daughter. So now we rah and going back and forth. Nigga hang up, dead end path. You know what I mean? So I can't find her. I'm like, fuck it. I'm gonna go back to AZ. I'm gonna regroup. Now I book a bus ticket on my way back to AZ, and we go through Missoula, Montana. Now, there's an hour or two layover in Missoula, Montana, in this town. And I met two white boys on the bus. They had some weed. So we like, yo, let's walk up to the liquor store to go get a couple of blunts so we can smoke. So we go to the liquor store, grab a couple of blunts. And when we coming out the liquor store, two females pull up on us in the car. And they like, hey, yo, let's smoke. Let's kick it. So we like, hell yeah. So we hop in the whip with these females and we smoking. We chilling. Know what I mean? Now, amongst us smoking and chilling, right after we hop back on the bus, the female who was driving was like, yo, let me get your number. You go get the Phoenix, hit me. Know what I mean? Let's chop it up and shit. Know what I mean? So we get back on the bus, and now I'm headed down to Salt Lake City, Utah. Now, ironically, my P partner, the nigga who I had caught the armed robbery case with, he was my co-defendant. We went to trial, we beat the case, took it all the way to the box. It was my nigga, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, all of my friends was pimping now, you know what I'm saying? So ironically, this nigga's in Salt Lake City, and he has his bottom out there, and he's pimping. I got a 3-hour layover in Salt Lake City. This nigga comes and picks me up from the bus stop. You know what I mean? So we riding around smoking. This nigga's like, yo, man, I'm about to go back to Phoenix in a couple of days. You might as well just roll with me. I'm like, okay, fuck it. I'll just kick it with you, and we'll go back to Phoenix together. Now, the very next day, the female who I met in Missoula, Montana, hits me up and says, yo, you made it to Phoenix yet? Nah, I didn't make it to Phoenix yet. Matter of fact, you should come out here though. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? I shoot at her, I tell her what we should be doing. And like I was telling you earlier, Daz, I never turned the female into a hoe who wasn't already a hoe already. You know what I mean? So what she told me was, yo, I was just in Vegas and some niggas had left me in Vegas. Just don't leave me. I'm like, I'm not going to leave you. You the money. Why would I leave you? You know what I mean? So when she agreed to come through, what she says is, yo, can my roommate come too? And I'm like, who's your roommate? She was like, oh, she's the female who was with me in the passenger seat when he was rolling. Oh, yeah, shit, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Bring her too. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? As a P in my mentality, shit, man, I'm thinking it's a 2-for-1. I mean, that's my mentality at the time.
Right. It's
you know
like a lick at this point. Right.
Right. So she brings her. So I book both of them a bus ticket, get both of their names. They got to go pick up their bus ticket at the bus station. They come through and we start moving from there. Now, 2 days later, after we get in Salt Lake City, we moving. Everything's going good. Everything's going great. In my mentality as a P, everything is going great. They do a double date. Guess what happens? The date who was supposed to be a trick, this nigga ends up being an undercover. So they attempt to get this nigga a massage. This nigga reveals that he's a cop, and he doesn't book them, but he writes both of them a ticket for doing business without a license. So he gives them a ticket and he gives them a court date. You know what I mean? Now, mind you, the day before, the nigga who I was with, his bottom had got hit in a sting for trying to do business without a license as well. And so now we thinking the whole scene is fucking hot. You know what I mean? So now we like, fuck it, let's go to Tucson. My other Pete partner, I'm not gonna name no names, but my other Pete partner was in Tucson. We like, yo, let's go link up with this nigga, and then we'll head back to Phoenix in a couple of days. So we go out to Tucson, like probably 2 or 3 days after we in Tucson. And this is very important and intricate in the story. Now, the females is working. I'm sitting downstairs in the whip by myself, smoking a blunt, writing rhymes. Now, as I'm writing rhymes, I see one trick go up the stairs. Comes out. I see another trick go up the stairs. Comes out. About 20 minutes later, another trick goes up the stairs. Comes out. I hit him up on the phone. Yo, y'all got any more action coming? Nah. So I go upstairs. I'm collecting the money. Where the money at? She puts the money in my hand, and I start to count the money, and I'm like, where's the rest of it? You know what I mean? So she's like, oh, we only had 2 dates. I'm like, nah, I've been watching the whole time. You had 3. Where's the money at? And hold up, is you high? Is you fucking high? What the fuck is you on? You know what I mean? So now I'm realizing that the female was fucking high as fuck, not off of no weed, not off of no alcohol. So I'm like, yo, I started looking for the fucking drugs. I go in there and I see a bag of meth, crystal shards. So the broad is trying to wrestle me for the weed. I mean, for the meth, for the bag. The meth falls on the ground. This is crazy. This is all real shit. The meth falls on the ground, and she's so desperate to get this fucking drugs, she dives on the ground to get the fucking meth, and some money falls out of her fucking bra. So now I'm like, oh, and you hiding money? Man, you know what? Y'all fired. Use that money to get back home. I mean, so I go downstairs to my room, get my pea partner, the nigga who I had caught the case with, the nigga who ended up ratting at the end of the day, and we dip out. We gone. We go back to Phoenix, man. Fuck these females. That's our mentality. Fuck them. You know what I mean?
Go.
Right. Now, we back in Phoenix. My other pea partner who we met up with in Tucson, this nigga calls me on the phone and says, yo, I got the females now, they mine. They chose up with me. And you know, in that game, you know, that's the rightful thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Hey, yo.
You let it be known. You let it be known what it is.
It's not a contact sport. I mean, this is what it is. I got your females. That's what it is. I mean, so that's what it was. I never thought twice about it. So they was with this nigga for weeks at a time. I don't even know how long. You know what I mean? Now, here's where the story flips. My pea partner, the nigga who I got a case with, the nigga who ended up ratting at the end
Shout
of the day.
out Burner Blue. Shout out LB Sickening. Shout
Burner
out
Blue in the
everybody
building.
turning
Yo.
in.
Man,
You know we love y'all.
Okay, yeah. So anyway,
Hey, he
so
said I hate it. I've
I
been
do.
avoiding doing it, but they keep
I
on.
do.
They be
I do,
begging
my
for
nigga.
my
I don't like that.
attention. So, all right, let's go. Keep going.
So they have
Okay.
been rocking with this other cat for her good grip now.
Right. So now they rocking with this. So now they rocking with
Nothing's
this nigga.
funny
Now
about that.
I don't know exactly what happened, but they get into it and something happens where the older female, she ends up getting back on the bus and going back home. Okay. So now the younger female's like, fuck it, I'm not going home. I'm gonna stay out here and keep home. She's doing it on her own. You know what I mean? She doesn't want to go home. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now, somewhere in there, my pea partner, the nigga who I got caught a case with, the nigga who ended up ratting, this nigga gets back in touch with the female on his own accord. Like on some slick shit. You know what I'm saying? Like not telling a nigga about this shit. You know what I'm saying? And the crazy, and this is from my perspective. One day I'm at Cheetah's, and you know what I'm saying, I'm at the strip club. You know what I'm saying? That's usually where I'd be at. I'd be in the strip club, and it's popping in there. You know what I'm saying? So I called my nigga on the phone. I'm like, yo, man, you need to come out to Cheetah's. It's popping out here, man. You need to come through. And this nigga's like, man, I'm back in Tucson, man. I just knocked something new. I'm out in Tucson. I'm like, okay, my nigga, that's what I'm talking about. Man, okay, all right, what's up? Get at me. Let me know what's happening. A couple of weeks later, this nigga's square female that he fucks with, this is like his girlfriend.
Oh man, I was trying to avoid the word square.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that in a second. She calls me and says, yo, Syph, this nigga one just got arrested in Tucson for pimping a minor. I said, what the fuck? Are you fucking serious? Like, damn. Now, that was detrimental. So now I'm thinking, damn, my niggas fucked. The very next day, the young female hits me up on Facebook and says, yo, me and this nigga, I don't want to say his name. Me and this nigga got arrested yesterday in Tucson. I said, what the fuck? I said, you was fucking with this nigga the whole time?
What up,
I'm
Ken
like,
CEO?
So, nigga, that was a shock to me. That was a shock to even me at the time. It was fucking crazy. Now, she's like, she's on the phone with me at this
But
point.
at this
She's like,
point, you're not tangled in with it yet. So at
I'm
some
not
point,
tangled in.
you
I'm
make a
not tangled in.
choice.
I'm not tangled in with it yet. I'm not tangled in
Okay.
with it yet. Let me finish the story, Milk. I got you. Now she's like, yo, I'm out here in Phoenix. I'm stranded. I don't have nowhere to fucking go. I'm like, man, I can't fuck with you. Where are you at though? She says she's on 19th Avenue and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, my nigga, blank name, my nigga stays over there. Let me call this nigga and see if you can stay with this nigga until your nigga makes bail.
Mm-hmm.
So my nigga obliges. He say, yo, she can come stay with me. Now, this nigga ends up making bail. Nigga gets in contact with me, and the nigga tells me, yeah, man, I was gonna tell you about it, man. You know, and I was just gonna make some money, and then I was gonna break you off too. And I'm like, okay, what? I'm like,
That
whatever,
sounds like
nigga.
some goofy shit, but come on.
Right. So in my mind, as this nigga's telling me, and this nigga pulled up and told me this to my face. So at the time, I'm thinking in my head, yeah, man, I'm about to stop fucking with this nigga. This nigga's a grimy ass nigga.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I get this nigga the female's information, and this nigga goes and does his own thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't hear from this nigga for weeks. Now, what happened is the state ended up dropping the case against this nigga. The state dropped the case. They told the nigga, yo, you can come to the station, you can pick up your money that we confiscated from you, you can pick up the vehicle and all that shit. This nigga goes out to Tucson.
Because now they have a bigger plan.
Right. So when this nigga goes to Tucson to pick up all his shit, guess who's waiting for this nigga? The motherfucking feds. And they got him. And they get him. And they get. Let me finish. I'm almost done. Done. The feds get him. You know what I mean? So now this nigga gets locked up in the feds. 18 months later, after this nigga's locked up, the feds is knocking on my motherfucking door. And that's how it happened.
Well, my biggest thing that stands out to me though is what up, Platinum? Is that you already like how did you separate your pimping from the fact you had a daughter then? Because you already had a daughter, you know. So how did you separate the two then? Because that could have been you know what I'm saying? And you expressed that vividly.
I didn't.
In the song we played earlier.
I didn't. Simple as that. I didn't.
How can those two things separately coexist in your mind, though?
As far as what? Explain yourself.
Having a daughter and thinking about what it is you envision for your daughter versus the reality
of you depriving somebody else or encouraging somebody else.
A stupid ass nigga. Just a dumb nigga lost in the world. Just stupid. You know what I'm saying? The mentality that a nigga had back then, a nigga was just a feather in the wind trying to chase a dollar. Whatever it took to get the dollar.
And matter how it came.
If a nigga had to, my nigga, man, I was robbing niggas. Nigga, I was scamming motherfuckers.
So you didn't care.
Nigga, mouthpiece is cold. I was
scamming. Free. What? You didn't care about being free or affecting other women in that way at that point in time.
I didn't give a fuck about affecting other people. I didn't give a fuck about affecting other people, period. Like I said, I was robbing niggas, gunpoint. I was scamming motherfuckers.
I still feel like the unanswered question is, what is really different now, though?
Well, the thing that's different now is, like I said, when you know better, you have to do better, man. You know what I'm saying? So when you're in the mentality of being that nigga, as far as being a P, you have a direction that you want to take your team. And the main thing that you want to establish is, what does everybody want? What do you want out of life? What is your ultimate goal? And then you put together a plan on how to get there. Now, as a P, At that point, a nigga would instruct, yo, I need you to post this ad. I need you to walk this blade. I need you to do A, B, C, and D.
Were you
Now,
posting?
stop it. Stop. Hold
Okay.
on, bro. Let me finish. Okay. Now, my mentality, because I know better, we can accomplish those same goals. We can accomplish that same thing that you want in life. Everybody wants financial freedom, and we can do that. But this time, you know what we should do? You know what we should do? We should start a business. We should create an LLC. We should get our credit up. We should get degrees. And that way we can do A, B, C, and D, and we can accomplish these goals.
What I hear you
so it's a
saying
different
is that
mentality.
you're refocusing the leadership qualities that you possess to further the hustle in a legitimate way.
In something good, in something legal, something that's not going to affect us for life in a negative way.
Other than his daughter being, the human being that God created her to be in this world, what else does Deshawn Cory want his legacy to be?
Man, honestly, man, I just wanted to be taking care of my family, man. At the end of the day, I want my moms, I want my brothers, I want my sisters, I want my cousins. I want them all to be able to say, yo, Syfe put us on. Syfe showed us a better way. Syfe showed us how to take care of our family and be financially free. I've always felt the need to take care of my family, man. You know what I'm saying? When I was a little kid, I wanted to be in the NFL. You know why? Is it because I like going to football practice every day and running gassers? Nah. It's because I wanted to have money so I can buy my mom a house.
Yeah.
Every little kid wants to do that.
What do you say to that young man who is living that same reality that you've already experienced?
Look at me, fam. Look at the consequences that can happen. And it's just not me. I know 100 niggas in the same position who thought they were smart too, who wanted to come up too, and they did it the wrong way. And you know what happened? You get taken away from your family, your moms, your brothers, your sisters, your kids. This is what happens to you. And you're going to have to sit the fuck down. And you're going to have to come up with a better way to get money, man. And stop thinking in the same fucking box that the rest of us is thinking in, man. Because there's a good portion of niggas who's going to that box, man. It's a good portion of us.
Real life.
Yeah.
I gotta say, it's a hell of a story. Obviously we're here rooting for you. We love what you do, and we're just hoping that to see great things from you, man.
What I'm gonna speak out into the world is that your latter days will be greater than your former days. You haven't seen the best of Deshawn Cory. I believe that Deshawn Cory will.
We have not. That's
scary. We have not seen
the best of Deshawn Cory.
I'm about to get a bag so motherfucking big. Just wait.
It's not even about a bag, bro. We
want to say this.
We want to see positive things.
Before we wrap this thing up, man, I do want to say there are other people who have been trying to get an interview with this man, and we just want to thank him from Let's Vibe TV. Thank him for entrusting us with this story. We appreciate you coming on this platform to tell your story, and the story isn't over.
He looked at his clock.
Hey, I told you. Good shit. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Hey, yo, do me a favor, fam. Just play that one track that I sent you. Just play that one. Just play the one.
I didn't convert both. I just converted that one, man.
Okay. All right. We'll play that one time on one of your next pods.
I got you.
Matter of fact, anybody listening, man, go check out the album, man. It's called
The One by Deshawn Cory. Here, let them know why they should listen to it. We're gonna give you the full screen real quick.
Yeah. So this is my latest project, The One. It comes straight from the heart. It's talking about everything that's going on in my life. It's talking about everything that happened, everything that I perceive to happen in the future, and everything that should happen. I mean, and if anybody wants to know anything about the controversy, about the drama, about how I perceive things from my perspective, go check out that album. Everything is real. Everything is from the heart, and ain't nothing fabricated in that motherfucker, man. Go check me out, man. I'm the realest nigga alive, man.
I want you to respond to this comment too as a final note. That's the part that fucked me up. I got 3 teenage daughters. Now I don't bump Southside Story around my family, but it messed with me a bit. What do you say to those people?
I feel you, fam. I feel you. I definitely feel you. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, fam, you know, I don't want you to, you know, look at the person who I was and say that's what the music represents, because that's my old shit. And my old shit, I was glorifying that and talking about it proudly. You know what I mean? The music that I put out today and the nigga who I am now, that's a different story. That's a different sound.
That's not the Southside Story, right?
That's not the Southside Story, fam. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about redemption. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about a better way of thinking, a better thought process. I mean, and I understand if you feel that way, fam. I understand if you feel that way. I don't hold nothing against you, but I will tell you, man, that person who niggas was talking about back then, that person who niggas was describing, man, I'm disgusted with that motherfucker too, man. You know what I'm saying? And who better to bring people in the light than somebody who was in the dark?
What the song said, the old me dead and gone away.
Yeah, fam. Yeah, fam. You know what I'm saying? Malcolm X had to be in the darkness to bring people to the light. Malcolm X was out there pimping. You know what I'm saying? But he had to see that. You know what I'm saying? It's the story of the...
This man said Malcolm X. Malcolm X. Yeah. I thought you said Martin Luther King. Malcolm X for sure.
It's the story of the prodigal. It's the story of the prodigal son. Fam. It's the story of the prodigal son. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah, Malcolm. Man. Okay. And good. Man. So you got to hear his response, Martin, definitely. But yeah, that is Let's Vibe TV.
Yo, shout out to Deshawn Cory, man. We appreciate you sliding through and hanging out with us on tonight, man.
Are we gonna end it with the ending we tip? Oh, go.
Oh, you know what's about to happen, because we gotta do this thing.
Hold on, let Deshawn speak. Let Deshawn speak. He was saying something real quick. I didn't even cut you.
Nah. Go ahead. I'm just fixing my face. What y'all niggas talking about?
Okay.
Well, you know, I don't know if you remember BET back in the day, but they was all about safe sex, and we happen to be all about safe sex as well. Because when it's time to go, it's time to go. Like an old school BET condom commercial. Sure. We got to wrap it up. Yo, we out of here.
All right, y'all.
Yeah. Good luck, man.
5:30, the car missing. There's a man out on a mission. Tell me, where have you been hitting? I'm gon' find it. The perfect timing, the silver lining. I'm gon' rip it. You can't fix this ghetto and exquisite. Be an adult, have an affair for once. Been scared your whole life, go a pair nuts. You're human, your whole existence just to tear shit up.